Okay, I think it is working. I think we are live. If you were on Twitch, you probably already saw that we were live, and you probably already saw me be like, what the hell? And get really angry. Because it wasn't no working. It wasn't no working. And now it is working. And now it is. So hello, welcome. Yeah, I had to check Twitch because it was the only thing that was working. Hello. Yeah, the couple of people on Twitch, they helped me out a lot. What up, everybody? Hey! What up? Welcome on in. First time streaming? Pretty much. First time streaming. Let me pop this chat out. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are doing well. We got some pretty crazy stuff to talk about today, man. Marvel holding an L. Marvel holding a W. And I want to get into that. I want to explain it. Also want to talk about Across the Spiderverse promotion. What the hell is happening with Across the Spiderverse? We all got excited. So, Sony gonna Sony? What the hell's happening there? So we got to talk about that. We have to talk about Rachel Zegler. Didn't I used to call her something else? I think I used to call her Renee Zellweger. Because I literally... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used to get her name mixed up. But anyway, yeah, we're going to talk about that because I think that's a troll. At least it better be. However, there is the actual possibility that this is real, and I think I know why as well. So we got to talk about that because I think that's a massive freaking L. But then we have to talk about a massive freaking W. And that would be Noah Hawley being approached by Marvel Studios. So we've got to get into that as well. Gotta get into that as well. Grace Ranchoff? What the hell is that? What the hell does that mean? What the hell is even that? How you guys doing, man? How's the week going for you guys so far? How's your Tuesday? Josh, it's the holiday season. We need more Nerd Ventures merch in the shop, bro. That's true. We'll work on that. Why would Shine troll? Doesn't she want credibility? Yeah, that's a good question. Why would Shine troll? Doesn't she want credibility? Hey, let me open this one up to the class. We'll take this as a teaching moment. What do you think Shine wants more than credibility? Does anybody have any ideas? What could she want more than credibility? Don't be hating on Twitch. Oh, okay, sorry. Hey, did you see Shine versus Alex from CC Beef going on? About Wonder Man being set up in the Avengers movies. Yeah, she wants clicks, attention. Yeah. That's actually a good question by Comics Things 18. I did see that. I find it to be pretty interesting. I mean, if we're picking sides here, we're Team Cosmic Circus all day. Team Alex, for sure. I don't know, man. I mean, look, I like to troll Shine. It's one of my favorite things to do, to be honest with you. Getting back on Twitter, one of the best things that I can do now is get in her comment section and troll. I'm having a blast. Okay. But I am kind of like a shit poster, pot stirrer kind of a dude. I don't really take it that serious. I don't have like serious ill will towards her. I don't have any ill will towards Alex. Yeah, I mean, I think Alex is more credible, but I think Shine has had a lot of good, posts and a lot of good stuff in the past. But yeah, I did see that. I think that's kind of interesting, whatever that is between them. Kind of interesting. Same. Shine's Twitter is AIDS. Oh, man. You do it well, sir. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, look, we all have our talents. Okay? We all have our talents. I, was gifted with the innate ability to piss people off. It's crazy. I know. But it makes me kind of a good troll. You know what I mean? Makes me kind of a good troll. Josh likes to bully Shine. A little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. You definitely have ill will towards Gunn either. You definitely don't have ill will towards Gunn. No, not at all. I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Gunn. In fact, I was thinking today we could look at comments made by Gunn about canon. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of interesting if we looked at his comments about canon and then we could try to figure out what that means for us. Is he cutting any in and out for anyone else? No. Audio skipping? No. No, it's just you. Lag? No. All right, fine. I'll check it out, but I don't think so. No. When did you switch to a dollar store mic? What the fuck are you talking about? Audio's cutting it. Oh my God. Really? Is it because it's clipping? All right, let me try one thing. What is this? No, it's not that. Maybe it's this. Okay, maybe not. Is that a little bit better? It can't be all of us. Well, I am listening to the audio that's playing through. Oh my God. Is it better now? The audio is probably not skipping. It's probably clipping. The red. It's, All right, let me try one more thing. Oh my God. All right, we'll try that. And then we'll pop that off. Okay, that's probably better for you guys, but I'm going to be honest with you. I fucking hate it. I hate this audio, but it's probably better for y'all. Does that sound okay? Does that sound better? It doesn't sound better? Oh, it doesn't? Oh my goodness. I can't tell if this is just one big elaborate troll. I guess I should look, yeah. Now is it better for you? Does it sound better? Still broken? What? It's horrible? What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way, dude. No, go back. Well, how about this? Let's see. Let's see how it sounds when I scream. Refresh. Oh my God. There's no way. There's no way it sounds bad. Dude, look. Oh, it's fine now? Holy. Your mic sounds different. I think it's because you don't have enough foam on the walls. Jesus Christ. Oh man, it's gonna be a short stream today, ladies and gentlemen. Real bad? Yeah, refresh it. Oh my God. So, Mandalore says it's perfect. As long as Mandalore says it's perfect, then I'm good. Holy. Still broken for me too? What? You guys is crazy. Let me double check something here. Got that on. Oh my God. I hate the audio with this on. I hate it. Maybe I could bring it down here. What is that? Oh my God. No, I can't do that. I have to leave it on like this. This is good audio. So if there's if you don't like it, then you don't like good audio. Yeah, that other one was pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, it was way muffled. Now I can hear you. It's fine. Left and came back and it's better. Oh my God. Den of audio checks. Well, I'm going to be real. On my end, I monitor the audio. So I'm monitoring it. And on my end, it sounds perfect. It sounds great. Better than ever. Don't you have Google Fiber? No, I don't have Google Fiber, but I do have fiber, yeah. Now this is pod racing. Yeah, now this is about to be the end of a stream, is what it is. I just noticed the wall behind you. What the fuck did you do? What? What do you mean? The wall behind me. What the hell is happening here? This is why we can't have a, you know what? We're supposed to have a professional show. This is a goddamn professional show. And it's a fucking family show. It's a fucking family show. And you guys are messing it all up for me. We're supposed to have a good stream. We're supposed to have a good day. We're supposed to have good news, information, and news. Holy shit. Shit. Where is Shin? She's like behind me. See? There she is. Oh my God. It was a YouTube thing. Twitch was good the whole time and YouTube was cutting in and out. Okay, so it was a YouTube thing. Chat, listen. It was a YouTube thing. Which makes sense because when I first tried to fire up the stream, which, by the way, I wasn't fucking late today. I was on time. I fired up the stream and it only went out on YouTube. Or Twitch, rather. It wasn't streaming to YouTube. So then I had to restart the whole thing. So there must be something going on with YouTube. Audio is going in and out. Jesus. Diet chicken wings? No such thing, brother. No such thing. Rossi, thank you for the rose. J. Lou says, when did you switch to a dollar store mic? Caleb Pugh said, I missed the last 2 streams. Got married on Friday. And my first EMT clinical today. Glad to be back, though. Long stream today. Josh said it. Nerd Vengeance for life. I mean, we'll see how long it goes. Laryl, thank you for gifting a membership. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. W. Laryl. News? Yeah, we got news, baby. We got news, baby. Let's see here. Shout out Texas time. Chicken tacos. Got audio all good over here. See, now you guys are making me just want to pay attention to Twitch chat. Because frankly, Twitch has been chilling this morning. Other than one person that I did block. And you know why I blocked you. And if you don't know why I blocked you, shut your mouth. But yeah, Twitch. What's up? You guys are now my darling child. Because everybody on YouTube is just fucking complaining. Holy! What up, YouTube Vengers? My membership ran out. Much love. Hope y'all's morning is going well. What's up, Charlie? Good to see you. No different for me? Okay, right on. Okay. Should we get into the news? Should we get into the news here? Hang on now. Should we get into the news? I wanted to start, actually. I wanted to start by showing you something that is pretty good. Okay? Nature is healing. Chat, nature is healing. And I want to show you what I mean. This is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. So this is the official banner on Disney Plus. You're not going to Disney Plus me. This is the official banner for Disney Plus. Do you guys notice the difference? Do you guys notice the difference? Do you notice? Isn't this kind of amazing? So in the original banner, we had She-Hulk up in here, okay? Like, this is actually hilarious. This is, like, really kind of funny. She-Hulk over here, and she's literally been replaced by Deadpool. Okay, let's start a slow clap. A slow clap. Oh, man, I used to pray for times like these. Fuck She-Hulk, man. Stupid ass show, stupid ass character. Totally ruined it. Fuck that character, man. And it is hilarious that they actually made this move. This is significant. This is intentional. You could probably replace a couple more on here, I'm going to be honest with you. But I will take the She-Hulk replacement, man. My God. My God. So I think another sign of nature healing. We're about to talk about a potential massive Marvel L. But it is worth mentioning this massive Marvel W. I don't know. What do you think, Chad? What do you guys think? What do you think about this? What do you think? Jay Morris, what up, brother? With a $5 holler says, hey, man, what's your new schedule for streams? Been MIA since you started streaming more and not sure what has changed. Love you. Nerd Avengers for life. Appreciate you, Jay. Right now, we are streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon. And we are streaming Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. That's the new schedule. I don't know if it's permanent or not. We're kind of trying it out. I mean, I like it. Not everybody in the community likes it. I know that there are a lot of other people streaming at this time that maybe people have gotten used to watching, etc., etc. But for now, that's what we're locked into. We'll see. We'll see. We might change it. Yeah, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. I think it's pretty funny. And by the way, too, you know, because we will be talking about Rachel Zegler, Tatiana Maslany has done herself zero favors with the comments that she made, number one, about Bob Iger during the strikes. Number two, with the comments she has jokingly made about using up the budget, not getting renewed. I believe she's even joked about Ryan Reynolds cutting her out of Deadpool and Wolverine. And look, guys, you know, I try to be fair. I try to be open. You know, I love riding on the fence. You know, I'm very comfortable as a fence rider. But I do have to say, just reading the tea leaves and thinking about where media is at right now, it kind of seems like it's fuck around and find out season. You know, I mean, I've been saying for years, by the way, too, it might seem like, oh my God, he's being like super fucking toxic about She-Hulk all of the sudden, but that's not true. I've been pretty on message about this for years. I think the idea of being able to be super flagrant and controversial and divisive with your mouth parts as an actor or an actress, or even as somebody that represents a brand or a franchise, I think it's a bad move. I think it's been a bad move. I think there was a real attitude in a lot of media, in a lot of spaces, that people could say divisive things, you know, do stuff that from a business perspective is a little bit out of pocket, and they felt like they would be fine. It was fine. That is not true. That is not true. I don't know what the future is for She-Hulk. I still actually think she has a future. You know, I still think there's potential for her to show up in the Avengers movies and all of that. But people don't like She-Hulk, man. People do not like She-Hulk. I don't have any personal feelings against Tatiana Maslany other than the fact that I would say you should not have said and done a lot of those things. I think that those were silly. but potentially not as silly and not as bad as even what Rachel has done, right? But it does kind of feel like we are in, I don't want to say a whole new world, but it really does feel like we are in fuck around and find out season. So this is kind of interesting, man. I just saw this pop up. I wanted to bring it to your attention. It's funny, you know, I'm being a little tongue-in-cheek with it, but also, like, this is absolutely real, man. Like, this is absolutely real. It's pretty crazy. Do you guys have any thoughts before we get started into the official news? Fanjecture subscribed over on Prime on Twitch. And he says, I hope to never hear mouth parts come out of your mouth part again. What? Say what? Zach, thank you for the gift and membership, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Exactly. There's a way to show support for the SAG strike at the time without being unprofessional. Yeah. No, I mean, I just like, look, at the end of the day, when you are working in a business setting, there's something known as tact. Like, if you, like, let's just be real, right? Like, if you're an employee and you come in and you're talking mad shit on the boss, even if you're justified in doing that, that's not a smart move. Like, how is that a smart move? You know, if anything, you quietly go to the other bosses or you quietly try to make your point. That is tact. But, like, if you're just there and you're just putting out all these public statements about the boss, about the company, about the fans, all these different things, like, come on, man. Like, you just can't do that. You know, that's silly. And so, I don't know what, yeah. I just think that, like, there's a way to express yourself. There's a way to hold an opinion that's counter to others. And there's a way to do it respectfully. There's a way to do it with tact. There's also a way to be a whiny little biatch and annoy millions of people. And so it's like a choose your own adventure. You know, you can decide how you want to take this on. And I think there are examples of people that do it well. I think there are examples of people that don't. So, kind of interesting that this is actually happening here with She-Hulk. Poor She-Hulk, man. Poor She-Hulk. Okay, now, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the news, baby. I want to get into the news with y'all. First up, let's talk about Across the Spiderverse. This was pretty wild. I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday's, but a bunch of people started speaking about a fixture that had been put up in Chelsea, New York. Let me get this pulled up for you guys. A mysterious Spider-Man logo being put up in Chelsea, New York. Fans are speculating that a Beyond the Spider-Verse announcement may be imminent. I don't know why people actually thought that that's what this would be. I mean, this would be maybe one of the weirdest, silliest ways to announce and promote a new movie. Putting up a bunch of, like, artwork in Chelsea. I don't know, like that. I didn't even share this initially when it first came out because I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. However, Alex Perez did kind of chime in on this. He suggested that there's something going on with Across the Spider-Verse and Sony. I think he said, quote, December is going to be a really fun month for fans. I'm not really sure what that means, but it was really interesting to watch this news come out and watch so many people believe that this could be. I mean, look at this thing. It's 47,000 likes, 1.9 million views on this post alone. Sorry. It's pretty crazy. Now, what did it end up being? Well, Sony then made this post on, I believe, their Instagram. Don't worry, Jordan Fisher. Miles is on his way. Ad. Cinematic. Cinemal's coming home. Sony Bravia. Spiderverse. Spider-Man. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse available on Sony Picture Core. What? Is that like it's a television ad. It's an ad for a new television. So, do you realize what this means, chat? Do you realize what this means? What it really means? It means that Sony can't put Spider-Man into any of their Venom movies. They refuse to put Spider-Man into Kraven. They can't have a real Spider-Man in Madam Web. And they didn't put a Spider-Man into Morbius. But they'll use Spider-Man to sell TVs. Pretty interesting. Now, does this have any actual connection to the movie? Is there an announcement about the third movie coming out soon? I don't think so. I suppose it's possible something is happening in December with regards to this. It's probably, like, here's my speculation on this, okay? I bet what's really going on here is they're trying to do some kind of a bundle. And this TV, this new TV, which, I mean, I don't even know, what is this? Some kind of Sony Pictures Core or whatever. Can somebody find the actual ad? Maybe it's like a new kind of OLED crazy type of movie thing. It is probably the case that they will say that if you want to watch these movies in all their glory, this new Sony television will give you the best experience with that movie, right? So I believe they're going to try to use the Spiderverse films as a way to get people to buy this new TV. And who knows? I mean, maybe there's technology in there that'll like change the frame rate the way that it was intended ultimately for like the animators or something like that. I'm not really sure. It's probably just like really crisp picture, really sharp, whatever. Maybe they'll do a thing where if you buy the TV, you get a copy of the Blu-ray for free or something like that, right? So, yeah, at the end of the day, Sony's going to Sony. They got everybody super excited. A lot of people thought that this would, that this would be leading to an announcement for the third movie. I don't think so. Yeah. Bravia is the platform that allows you to watch some movies like Disney Plus, but Sony owns it. Oh, okay. So they probably have the movie on that then. So you could probably, the movie's probably loaded into these TVs or something like that, right? So, I don't know. I suppose it's possible that this is connected to an actual announcement that'll drop in December. I also don't think so. I think that movie is a far ways off, man. I know there's some speculation about this, but Jeff Snyder reported that the Spider-Verse movie went through somewhat of a creative overhaul. There's some conflicting reports about that. Some people say no. I think yes, mostly because there were plans for the Spider-Verse movies to work alongside the plot for Kang. Okay, this is something I've talked a lot about, but it's not a coincidence that in the second movie, before the web of life and destiny is spread out there, you have the branching timeline that looks exactly like the branching timeline in the MCU. It's not a coincidence that Miguel O'Hara name drops Peter Parker and Doctor Strange from Earth 199999999. These are not coincidences, and so I think part of the creative overhaul for this movie that Jeff Snyder was reporting on has to do with Marvel changing their plan to go to Doctor Doom. And I think this movie is probably changing its plan slightly. So, we'll see. But at the end of the day, Sony gonna Sony, ladies and gentlemen. Any thoughts, any comments, any questions about this story before we move on? What are you thinking? What do you think? Fun fact, the dairy I work at supplies the milk for Noosa yogurt. What the hell? How's that a fun fact? What even is Noosa? We've gone completely off the rails. You need to make some of those posts. What? Probably okay. Easterly Sky, thanks for the 5 spot, says, hey man, you think that Marvel and Sony would ever have some sort of deal where they could buy Spider-Man characters there back from Sony? Nerd Avengers for life. No, I don't think so, brother. I think the best we can hope for is a continuation of the relationship between Sony and Marvel when it comes to the Tom Holland Spider-Man character. Maybe, possibly, we could get a little insight from Kevin, or he could help them out a little bit with regards to what they're doing with their Spider-Man stuff. That's the best we can hope for. So, Sony should have zero say when talking to Marvel. Yeah, but they do have that say. And this is because they bought that license in the 90s, and they will never give that license up. Like, at this point, how valuable is Spider-Man to Sony? Like, pretty much infinite value. Right? I mean, for God's sake, Venom 3 is one of the biggest movies of 2024. It's kind of hard. I laugh when saying it, but it is true. Sony has created one of the biggest movies of 2024 with Venom. Insane. Insane. Yeah, probably 3 to 5 billion. Yeah, so okay, here's kind of a little way to assess value. This is basically shorthand for what Hollywood does. Let's think about the gross. It doesn't even have to be just think about how much money they make from a Spider-Man movie each year on average. And then multiply that by 10, that's what it's worth. So even this year, right? And they're losing money technically because Madam Web, right? But you add up Madam Web, which, by the way, did Madam Web get to 200 million? 200 million. I think it got close to 200 million. Did it not? Oh my God. Let's look this up. This is kind of funny. Madam Web. Let's check it out. Madam Web. Oh my God. Worldwide 100 million. Never mind. That's pretty terrible. Okay, so let's add that to, like, let's say Venom gets to 5. Let's say Kraven gets to 2. That's 800 million. Plus, you got to think, what are the residuals? How much did they make off of Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man Homecoming, even this year via digital sales, licensing to other people, right? I'm going to say $1 billion. Not just from that, but I'm going to add that to all the other movies and get to $1 billion. Okay? So in the shorthand business world, as far as figuring out value for an acquisition, let's just say they're cash flowing to the tune of $1 billion a year. Then multiply that by 10. That's a $10 million asset. That's basically what it is, shorthand. So the license to Spider-Man is worth at least $10 billion. That's crazy. Will Marvel ever be willing to pay $10 billion? I don't think so. Right? Like, okay. So, what did they pay? They paid $4 billion for Star Wars, $4 billion for Marvel. So they are not going to turn around and pay more than double what they paid for Marvel to get the Spider-Man license back. You see what I mean? So they're never getting this license back. The only way they would get it back, I believe, is if, like, let's say something really bad happened at Sony and Sony got sold off for parts, then technically speaking, I think the license would end. How much for Fox? Well, that's a little bit different. They actually got all of those Fox assets for like 80 billion, I think. 80 billion, I think. But that's like the entire catalog, all the sports stuff, right? I could be mistaken on this. I would need somebody that really was intimately involved in that deal. But like you're talking about The Simpsons, a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. So the Fox deal was different because it wasn't a license, it was a catalog. Does that make sense? Spider-Man is worth as much as the MCU? No. What's the value of the MCU as an asset? What does the MCU make every year? I'd say at least 2 billion, maybe 3. You're talking about the entire catalog, all of that revenue that's generated every year, licensing for all of those movies that go out every year, plus your actual box office gross. It's hard to quantify how much the Disney Plus shows are adding to the cash flow via Disney Plus, but I'm sure there's some way to calculate that, right? So the Marvel Cinematic Universe is probably worth 3 times, as an asset, 3 to 6 times what the Spider-Man license is worth. Yeah. Like, it's an insane amount of money. I think the MCU is probably the most valuable entertainment asset on the planet. If you can name another one, I would love to hear it. But, yeah, I don't think there is one. I mean, how many of the top 10 all-time grossing movies are Marvel Cinematic Universe movies? What, like 5 of them? 6 of them? Can we look that up on Box Office Mojo? Is there a way to look at that chart on Box Office Mojo? Let's see here. All time. Lifetime gross. This is domestic. Let's look at worldwide. Okay. So, here we go. Avatar's number 1. Avengers Endgame's number 2. Way of Water's number 3. Titanic's number 4. Star Wars Force Awakens. Infinity War's number 6. So that's 2. Spider-Man No Way Home is 7. Oh, wow. So they actually got a lot of stuff bumped out of the top 10, believe it or not. Lion King bumped them out. Jurassic World bumped them out. Inside Out 2 bumped them out. My God. That's crazy. Let's look at domestic. Domestic is a little bit different. You've got Avengers Endgame, No Way Home, Black Panther, Infinity War. But then you look at like top 20 here. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, it's a pretty valuable asset. I don't know exactly what the number is, but it's crazy, whatever it is. But yeah, all of that to say, Marvel's never going to get the license back. MCU worth $32.9 billion, Spider-Man worth $26.7 billion. Where'd you get that from? What's this? It's a Wikipedia article? I mean, sure. Okay, gotcha. I mean, I don't know how they calculate this. I do not know who calculated this. Okay, because they're doing like merchandise and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, so this is not relevant to what we're talking about. I'm talking about strictly from the film studio perspective. The brands themselves are very valuable, but here's the difference. Spider-Man might make, I don't know, $5 billion a year. 2 of that billion might directly go to Disney via licensing of a lot of toys, via licenses for other products, clothing, merchandise, etc. Unless it's directly related to a movie, I believe all of that still goes through Disney. So Spider-Man might be worth that much, but the Spider-Man license to Sony is not worth that much. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's slightly different. I would argue Spider-Man is the most valuable asset within the Marvel catalog. But again, Sony only has the license for live action film for that. Right? Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is they're never going to get that license back. Marvel's going to have that for the rest of the time. Or rather, Sony's going to have that for the rest of the time. What we can hope for is that they continue to have a relationship with Kevin Feige or with Marvel Studios, and they do better. Basically, guys, they need to do better, Senator. That's what it is. Okay, let's talk about the next piece of news here. This lovely bit of information here. Did you guys see this? Did you check this out? Did you see this? Oh, man, I'm so curious as to what you guys think about this. This is coming from My Time to Shine. Hello. Marvel Studios wants Rachel Zegler for a role. Which role do you think she should play? Now, I do want to mention that the top comment down here is me. Oh, I don't think so. And then also, just because it's funny, check this out. This guy's like, the gift doesn't even make sense. We question him at it. You dumb blue check mark, blah, blah, blah. And then I said to him, oh, I don't think so. So follow me on Twitter for a lot of fun times. Okay. Is this shit true? Let's just start there. Do you think this shit is true? Do you think this is real, chat? Yeah, I fucking doubt it. I'm going to be honest with you. I doubt this very much, okay? So what I actually think is going on here is I think My Time to Shine is just farming. She is trolling. She is just trying to get engagement, okay? So I don't think that this has a possibility at all. I mean, Rachel Zegler is like Brie Larson 2.0. You know what I mean? And I mean that from both the perspective of somebody that doesn't understand why they should probably stop yapping, but also as somebody who has become a sort of beacon of clickbait. Okay? So the thing about Brie Larson is like, and if you know, I'm going to fence it on this because here's what I honestly think about Brie Larson. I think what Brie said was pretty stupid. I think on the tour, Brie was super cringe and that shit is annoying. Remember, we watched that video. We watched it a couple of months back. It was by that author, that female author. And she was just pointing out how, you know, a self-assured, confident person does not act the way that Brie did. Brie comes across super snarky, super bitchy, and it's just whack. On top of that, the character wasn't done real justice, right? So I think all of that is true about Brie Larson, but it also is true that the attention economy and YouTube found clickbait gold. There's gold in them hills, and they went way fucking overboard, okay? But here's the thing. We don't live in a perfect world. We don't live in an ideal world. We live in a world where if you feed the clickbait machine, it's going to eat. And it's going to keep eating, and it's not going to stop. It doesn't know how to stop. That's why you have people that make like 400 Rachel Zegler videos. Part of that is the algorithm. Okay? So like RDJ Dr. Doom is my Brie Larson. Okay? I love putting RDJ Dr. Doom in the title. I love putting RDJ Dr. Doom in the thumbnail. Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom is my Brie Larson. Okay? That's just how that algorithm works. Do you think I love it? No. You think a lot of other people love it? No, but that's how it works. It is what it is. Okay, so at the very least, like, as somebody out there, like, if I were her representation, I would just be like, please shut the fuck up, because you're just fueling a narrative that will do nothing but bring damage to your brand, to your ability to star in these big movies. Rachel Zegler just had to apologize. She literally just had to walk back some unhinged comments where she's like coming at, wishing ill will on Trump and Trump supporters and all that, right? And I'm not saying that to get this conversation into the realm of politics. I'm not trying to do that. I am simply pointing out that she said some shit which her handlers thought was so egregious and so damaging that they made her publicly apologize, and it got put out in the Hollywood trades. Okay? So, the reality of this situation is, if Marvel does want Rachel Zegler for a role, then the rumors of what's-her-face coming back to the company, they're probably true. Okay? That's number one. Please, for the love of God, do not offer Rachel Zegler a role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Please, for the love of God, do not do that shit. This would be so fucking stupid, especially when Marvel's about to make a turnaround, when Marvel is literally replacing She-Hulk with Deadpool on the official banner for Disney+. Why in the ever-loving fuck would you hire somebody like Rachel Zegler? She is poison. She is PR poison, probably box office poison too, although that is yet to be determined. Now, the other shoe, and this is where it gets a little scary. The only way that this is real is if they are trying to rehabilitate her image. Okay? Because Hollywood's a weird town. A lot of weird connections between people in that town. And I could see a scenario in which Disney is saying, oh my fucking God, this Snow White movie is about to bomb. Oh my fucking God, we have this big deal with Rachel Zegler and she's PR poison, box office poison. Well, what are we going to do? Let's put her in a Marvel thing and try to rehabilitate her image. Okay? That's the only scenario that I can come up with other than just complete ineptitude as to why Marvel would go after a person like Rachel. Okay? And unfortunately, I do think that's a possibility, man. Striker Dragoon says, what's bad about her? Is this thing on? Hello? Is this thing on? Did the microphone, am I cutting out again? Is the microphone issue happening again? Striker Dragoon, can you hear me? Holy shit. Make her rogue. Brother, don't make her anything. Keep her away from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No. No. Please, no. God, no. All right, let's go. Hey, thanks, Kalisto. Says, Josh looked down and saw 666 viewers watching, so what the hell? Here's $20. I don't know how to feel about that, but thank you. All right, let's end the poll, and let's go to a new poll. Do you want Renee Zellweger in the MCU? Yes or no? Let's just check it out. Y'all are acting like this girl is Diddy or something. You know, the fucking cope and the fucking like, what's your problem with Rachel Zegler? Is just so rich. It's like you acknowledge that there are so many people that have a problem with her because it's inherent to your copium. And yet you somehow can't see that so many people have a problem with her? Come on, man. That's illogical. Like, if you're able to say, oh, man, everybody's being ridiculous about this, then you know motherfuckers are affected by it. Then you know that people don't like her. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. So no, I don't want her in the MCU. I don't want her near the MCU. In fact, this story is stupid. I think this is literally just Shine trolling. I think Shine is just trying to stir the pot and shitpost and do stuff that is actually quite similar to what I do. But it's, in this case, goddamn ridiculous. I don't believe it. I don't think this is going to happen. And just looking at the poll right here. I mean, just look at this poll, man. 80% of people say no. Okay? 80% of people already voting in are like, no. So there is no way. There is no way that this would have a positive effect on the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, no way. So, I think the only way that this could be true is if they're trying to rehabilitate her image. And perhaps Disney feels like they're so invested in her that they have to do everything in their power to try to rehabilitate her image, to try to get people to fuck with her. And, I mean, if she could do some cool stuff in a Marvel movie, I mean, maybe. She was technically in, wasn't she in Shazam 2? Right? Wasn't she in Shazam too? So she has some history, you know, doing the cape thing and all that. So, yeah. Yeah. So, I know this news is out there. I saw people talking about it. I think Christian Harloff was talking about it on his show. Look, here's the facts. I don't even believe this report. I think Shine is trolling. If it is true, abort the mission. This is an absolutely terrible idea. Just when you were trying to gain goodwill back from the fans, when you were trying to show that you were going in a new direction, do not let this person who, you know, even if you don't love, like, let's say you support the political side or the team that you think Rachel is a part of, there are ways to do that without being as cringe, without being as divisive as she is. Like, for instance, the entire Avengers cast, the OGs, came out and supported Kamala. And, you know, it didn't work. And also, nobody really cared. It's not like I'm sitting here like, fucking Robert Downey Jr., he tried to tell me how to vote. Fuck that guy. No. You know, Elizabeth Olsen herself came out and said, like, vote for Harris and shit like that. Bro, nobody fucking cares. It's fine. Feel the way you feel. Be political. Cheer on your team. It's all good. It's completely different when you are just cringy and abrasive and divisive and just icky, man. Completely different things. So this is like a nightmare scenario, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, she said sorry. Oh, which time did she say sorry to? You know what I mean? There's a pattern of behavior. There's a person that can't control themselves. There's a person that has no business sense. Not in the public expression of the branding sense. And by the way, too, I think we're going to get a trailer for Snow White this week. And let me just ask you this, chat. Do you think that the trailer for Snow White, you think there'll be a couple of dislikes on that trailer? I mean, what do you think? What do you think the ratio is going to be? Evil Diner 666, thank you for subscribing on Prime. Says 11 months. Please no Zegler. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's not a political ideology, but the way she talks down to the audience. 100% agree. 100% agree. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's plenty of Marvel. I mean, by the way, like, it's not uncommon for Hollywood actors to be left-leaning or liberals. In fact, I feel like that's the norm. But it's a different flavor when you're like, you know, fuck Walt Disney, man. This shit was made in the 1930s. The princess doesn't need saving and all that. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but like that is basically what she said. You know? It's not a good look. Not a good look. Love listening to y'all cry. I'm glad, Jupiter. Welcome, man. I hope you're having a good time. I don't want her in the MCU, but the incels are going to dislike bomb the trailer. Oh, man. Okay, so let me just try to like offer you up a little something here, okay? Did the Acolyte get review bomb? Chat, did the Acolyte get review bomb? Did the trailers get review bomb? Did the episodes get review bomb? Yes or no? Did the Acolyte get disliked into oblivion? Did it get review bomb? Okay, so then the question is, why did that not happen for Agatha? Does anybody know the difference? Why did the Acolyte get review bomb? Why did the Acolyte get draped in toxicity? Why did the Acolyte get all of its trailers ratioed into oblivion? And then why did that not happen to Agatha? Any idea why? Yeah, Aaliyah, you got it. Says the way the acting talent carried themselves. Absolutely. Consider that from all the way back to maybe some of the first comments made publicly by Leslie Headland, all of the comments made at Star Wars Celebration, all of the comments made by those actors and actresses on social media. Consider that that is what drew the ire of Toxicity. And then consider that the PR surrounding Agatha, which technically did have somebody come out and say it was like the gayest Marvel show ever. But when you looked at what the actual actors were saying, including Joe Locke, they were actually pretty reasonable, pretty good takes, didn't feel aggressive, didn't feel antagonistic, and certainly wasn't trying to take shots at a large group of people. So even though Agatha didn't blow up, even though it didn't light the world on fire, it also existed without drawing the ire of Toxicity. So if you think that the Toxicity is only drawn because of having a show focused on female characters or having LGBT elements in the show, then the paradox of Agatha flies directly in the face of that conclusion. That is not what is happening. It is not the subject matter that is drawing this ire. Although in some cases, I think that can also be what it is. It is the comments made by the talent. It is public relations. How does the brand and the people that represent the brand interacting with the public? That's what it comes down to. So you might not believe that, but it doesn't matter because plenty of people do. Plenty of people understand the difference. That's why Rachel was asked to apologize. Do you see? So Rachel is horrible. Please don't let her near the MCU. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns before we move on to the next subject? Ladies and gentle beings, any other thoughts, comments, concerns, questions? Joe was great in all the pre-interview press stuff. He was. He was great in the show, too. It's a good show. If Snow White makes a profit, then MCU might consider her. I'd agree with that. Disney will give her another chance, but not before. Yeah. So I think that, frankly, the box office of this movie, which, by the way, when does this film come out? It's probably like first quarter of next year, maybe second quarter next year. So we'll wait and see how the box office goes on this movie, but I do not think it's going to go well. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine it going well. Josh, who's worse, Rachel or Amandla? I think Amandla. Yeah. I mean, the trades themselves put out an article which addressed Lucasfilm executives being very upset at the video that Amandla cut. You know, the goofy gyrating black and white, whatever that was. There's a literal Hollywood trade article that's talking about how the executives at Lucasfilm were like, I don't like that shit. So far, nothing like that has happened with Rachel. I mean, they made her apologize, but we don't have articles out there being like, we really don't like how she did this. We really don't. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? So, look, I have no personal animus towards Rachel. I happen to just love the Marvel brand, okay? And I'm looking out for the Marvel brand. I want what is best for the Marvel brand. Let me ask you another question, chat. Do you think that Brie Larson's reputation and the comments made during the Infinity War Endgame press tour, do you think that had any effect on the box office for the Marvels? Do you think? Yeah. It would be hard to know for sure, but I would suggest it did. Yeah. Yeah, I would suggest it did. I also think that the movie itself was kind of built in a way to try to hedge against the Captain Marvel hate. I mean, it is literally called The Marvels, and it stars 3 people instead of Captain Marvel. So, like, you can even see from Marvel's producing perspective that they were like, bro, we cannot have this bitch fucking lead a movie. That's crazy. That's crazy. Did you see how many videos they made about her? My God. We're going to need to bring in these other actors. And technically, it still didn't work. I mean, that movie did very badly, guys. That movie did very badly. Okay? And by the way, I truly think that if you're looking at this through the perspective of, oh, the incel's bad and it's just, you know, that's just a bad group of people and, like, they don't matter and all these other things, then, like, you are just looking through it with the wrong lens. I truly believe that lensing has actually done a lot of damage to these brands. A lot of damage. Because it's not as simple as that. And yet, I think there's just some obvious conclusions that you can draw to how certain people acted, what the reaction was within the fandom, and then how that translated to actual tangible damage to the brand. And I think that's the fairest way to say it. That's the fairest way to say it. You don't have to get aggressive. You don't have to be, super flagrant about it. That's just what it is. So no, in no world, in no universe, under no circumstance should Rachel Zegler be anywhere near the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Luckily, I don't even think this is real, bro. I think this is bait. I truly do not think this is real. Now, if it starts popping up more and more, if other people start reporting it, if other sources come forward to say that this is what's happening, I will change my tune on this, and the tune will become full-blown panic. Light the fucking torches, grab your horns, like Gondor has to ride. You know what I'm saying? Like, or Rohan has to ride to Gondor. Like, that's the type of level of fucking emergency that could be going on if they actually let this happen. No. You don't say that. You don't say that, and you don't do that. Okay. Yeah. So let's move on. Let's move on to to a different subject here. One that always delights the fans and people within the tower. Let's talk a little bit about Ahsoka. Ahsoka, ladies and gentlemen, check this shit out. Check this out. Ahsoka Season 2 is set to begin filming in April of 2025. This is pretty wild. This is coming from Daniel RPK, but it is actually corroborating a report that Bespin Bulletin had a couple of months back, talking about how, and this was at the time, so think like 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, Bespin reported that Dave was still working on the scripts for Ahsoka Season 2, and that the show was set to film beginning in 2025. Okay, so a couple of different sources now suggesting that this is what is happening. Ahsoka Season 2 set to begin filming in April of 2025. So let's do that. January, February. Wait. When's April? January, February, March, April, May. April's 4, right? So set to begin filming in April. Probably going to film for 3 to 5 months, depending on how tight they can keep the production. This would make it ready for a 2026 release. Okay. Now, a lot of questions about this because Dave is also co-writing and producing The Mandalorian and Grogu. Mandalorian and Grogu is filming right now. It wrapped a lot of its principal photography, but it's still filming some stuff. I think they're filming some secret cameo Luke Skywalker stuff. Have no idea if that's true. It's just my feeling based on some stuff that Bespin said. So the question becomes, will elements from Mando and Grogu be prevalent in Ahsoka Season 2? And then will Ahsoka Season 2 set up Dave Filoni's movie, which is supposed to be like a version of Heir to the Empire? I think so. And I hope so. Obviously, a lot is riding on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. A lot is riding on this second season of Ahsoka. I feel like it needs to nail it. I feel like it needs to be much better than the first season. And I'm somebody that liked the first season. You know, we recently did a rewatch of Ahsoka. I think we did, what was it, 3-4 months ago, guys? We did a rewatch of Ahsoka. It's pretty good. I think it's better than I remembered right up until about episode 7. Episode 7 and 8, pretty tough. Little unfulfilled. And you know, my personal view of that is I think there were 2 main problems with Ahsoka. Maybe three. First problem, lack of experience from Dave. You know, Dave is still, I think he just is much better at operating within an animated world as compared to live action. With animation, I mean, he's kind of a master. He knows how to get the performances he wants. He knows how to manipulate the actual animation to get what he wants. And it's probably a lot easier when editing if you can actually like go in and actually change the camera within a pre-rendered environment to get a different look, background, foreground, etc. So it's different in live action. And that's exacerbated by the second thing that was wrong with it, and this is shooting on the volume. Now, the volume can look absolutely incredible. I think it tends to look really good in long shots, establishing shots of spaceships, space stations, etc. I think the volume handles those things really, really well. What it does not handle well is action sequences. Okay? And, I think some of the lightsaber combat in Ahsoka is pretty lackluster, especially in that final episode, which is a shame because you want the final episode to like really pop, be incredible, be awesome. But when you shoot on the volume, it hinders the way you can cut. Okay? Again, it's not a full rendering. And so, therefore, certain ways that you might manipulate the film, if you had a natural background, are unavailable to you via the volume. That's something they said. I forget exactly who came out and made those comments. I think it might have been one of the editors, one of the directors. They just said it's kind of hard to edit action when you're shooting on the volume. I could absolutely understand that, okay? So I think, a little bit of a lack of experience with Dave. I think a little bit of the volume. Like, I would really prefer that they shot a lot more of their action sequences on actual locations, right? Which, ironically, chat, one of the things that Acolyte did well was actually shoot a lot of its action sequences on location. Acolyte has a lot of problems. Acolyte was pretty whack, but some of the action sequences were actually kind of lit. Like the Sith dude and some of those fights in the jungle. They're actually pretty good. And better, frankly, than a lot of the stuff that happened at the end of Ahsoka. So hopefully they fix that and they shoot a little bit more action on location, okay? But then, ultimately, the third thing that was wrong with Ahsoka, and I've never got a full confirmation on this, but my understanding is that elements of that story were ripped out and were saved for season 2. Okay? Which also is kind of wild. I just want to put this out there because I think they will recast Baylan. But I think they technically have more scenes with Baylan already shot. I don't know if they'll incorporate them. I have no idea. They'll probably just reshoot them with the new actor. But I'm pretty sure they have some more Baylan stuff that they shot. So, this is based on some comments that Jason Ward made. Based on some stuff that other people told me. I think it's possible that they took some stuff out and wanted to save it for season 2. Because I think there was a moment where Lucasfilm was really trying to push Dave to do his movie instead of season 2. Do you remember those parties? Those parties. Do you remember those stories? I don't know if anybody remembers that, but this was something being reported out there that they wanted Dave to just do the movie. Dave wanted more story. He wanted time to do the show. So, I think it's cool. Like, I'm excited for Ahsoka Season 2. I think Ahsoka Season 2 does have to be great. It has to be better than Season 1. And unfortunately, I do think it's on the back foot a little bit. We might have talked about them during the watch parties. Yeah. You remember the Diddy parties? Get them out of here. So, yeah, this is kind of interesting, man. Like, even if you look at the comments on this post, like, it's, like, pretty mixed, man. Like, real talk. It is pretty mixed. So, I mean, look, Star Wars is where Star Wars is, right? And we can just hope that they're actually going to figure this shit out. It's a little bit scary, but at the same time, the opportunity they have right now is to deliver absolutely epicness in the Mandalorian and Grogu film, have some connections to Ahsoka Season 2, have Ahsoka Season 2 absolutely pop off, and then set up the Dave Filoni movie after that. There's actually a chance there to do some Age of the Empire or Heir to the Empire shit, really have Thrawn be a big old badass, a big old blue badass, build up some really fun stuff. Frankly, way more exciting than anything to do with Rey for me personally as a Star Wars fan. So, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Ahsoka Season 2, right on target, filming in April of 2025, likely setting up a release in 2026. A lot is on the line. Would love to know, what do you think of this? What do you make of this? Any questions, comments, or concerns for the chat? What do you think, guys? More Shin? Shin's pretty dope. Would not mind more Shin. Thrawn's blue. If he was green, he would die. Music. What? Ahsoka. Yes. Those zombie troopers were hard to watch. Yeah, they should have been way cooler. They looked cool. I'm hyped for the show, definitely. Me too. I'm excited. It's too long. What do you mean? You mean the delay between the seasons? I mean, I agree with you. By the way, in that like 5-minute clip of Ben Affleck talking about AI and stuff, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen, and I know we touched on this a little bit yesterday. No, did he? One of the things Affleck literally says in that thing was like, you might be able to get 2 seasons of House of Dragon a year. Like, he literally said that, and his belief, just to kind of paraphrase it, is like, you're not going to replace the human touch of art and narrative storytelling. And I agree with that. But he also said, I wouldn't want to be in the VFX field. They're going to get absolutely demolished. And because it'll bring cost way down and make things way faster, you could potentially be getting 2 seasons of House of the Dragon in a single year. Now, he's being like a little hyperbolic there, but the point is, as I said yesterday, I think the delays in these seasons is a huge problem. And think about Marvel, think about Star Wars, think about a lot of these big brands. What's the hang up? It's usually visual effects. That's usually what is actually taking the longest for these things to be produced. So I think that we are living at a time, and I tried to express this yesterday, but I really do think this is what's going on. I think the taste of the audience is accelerating. I think the hunger and the taste and the thirst of the audience, definitely the thirst of the nerd Avengers, is accelerating. We want more, and we want it faster. And right now, these big brands, these IPs, these shows, even 2 years, because what would this make? When did Ahsoka air? Was it last year? Right? It was last year in like what, the summer? So it'll end up being probably 2 years between episode 1 or season 1 and season 2. Damn. That's crazy. Majority of Star Wars fans just want to see Star Wars in the cinema. Well, I guess we're going to find out. If Mando and Grogu does like crazy good compared to season 3, then I'd probably have to admit you were right. It ended just over a year ago. Wow. So it might be close to 3 years. My God. I mean, that's just not good. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely not helping. I'm not sure that it's killing some of these shows, but it is certainly not helping. That's a detriment. Right? Wow. Yeah, about 3 years. Crazy, huh? Crazy. My head is hurt. Or my heart is hurt. Oh, well, I hope your heart gets better. You probably exercise. Yeah. Go see your doctor. You'll be all right. Josh probably thinks a certain way about me because he reads what he reads from me. Yeah, probably do. Probably do. Okay, should we move on? So let's see here. We talked about Across the Spider-Verse. Sony gonna Sony. We talked about Rachel Zegler coming to Marvel. Please, God, no, don't let it happen. She's toxic and horrible. And also Rachel gonna Rachel. We talked about season 2 of Ahsoka. Release date, what's at stake for the Star Wars brand, the fact that AI needs to come in there and fix everything with the VFX departments because everything is being delayed way too much, okay? So we talked potential L with Ahsoka. It's time to talk W, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about a big old fat wide as you can make it W. Holy shit. Noah Hawley, that did Fargo, Legion, and Alien Earth, has met with Marvel Studios to discuss several projects. He was considered for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Currently, he is being considered to write and direct a few other projects, including Young Avengers. Wait, what? God damn it. No. Young Avengers, source, Daniel R.P. frickin' K. Okay, so First things first, Noah Hawley is an absolute stud of a creator. Okay? I've talked to you guys about Legion. I think it is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Marvel show that has ever been created. Legion is so good that it makes me look down at things that were done in the Moon Knight show and things that were even done in the Agatha show. So there's an episode in Agatha where they do a little band breakdown musical number thing, okay? And it just completely pales in comparison to things that Noah Hawley and the team that created Legion did for that show. It's wild. Same thing with Moon Knight. Like, it's hard to look at Moon Knight and say, like, oh, dude, like, that's crazy. That's super sharp. God damn, that's really, really tight. Because if you've watched Legion, Legion eats that show's lunch at every single turn. Okay? This dude is fucking phenomenal. Okay? Now, before Fox and its assets were purchased up by Disney, Noah Hawley was writing a Doctor Doom solo movie. And it is heavily rumored that that movie was going to essentially adapt the books of Doom. He was actually, this is the picture of him from New York Comic Con. I think the very same New York Comic Con where he talked about his Doctor Doom movie. We also know that he had a meeting with Kevin Feige about the Doctor Doom movie as the Fox acquisition was going down. And Feige basically said, this is really cool. I like your idea, but we can't do it. We can't do it now. So Noah Hawley is absolutely incredible. Now, the other thing that I want to bring to your attention is I think 3 or 4 months ago, you guys would have to let me know exactly when this was. 3 to 4 months ago, I actually brought up the fact that Noah had met with Marvel Studios, and I said that he was potentially doing his Doctor Doom movie as a show. Does anybody remember when I said that? Does anybody remember? Anybody remember? Somebody find the clip. Somebody find the clip. I was on stream and I was saying I heard from somebody that he had another meeting with Kevin Feige and that he was potentially bringing his Doctor Doom movie out as a Doctor Doom show. Some of you guys remember. No, you didn't say that. No, I did. Trust me. I remember. I remember the things I say. So that's pretty crazy because this story here lines up with what I said a couple of months ago. Now, I find it interesting that they literally offered him Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, bro, what? He was considered for Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. What? That's crazy. Oh my God. Can you imagine? I mean, that would have been absolutely nuts. Noah Hawley doing fucking Doomsday and Secret Wars. He probably just doesn't have like they were probably just like, look, we love the vision because of course, I mean, this is a man that has vision, but he just probably didn't have a track record of being able to pull this off. And it's not fucking around season anymore. Like, it's time to like deliver. So the Russos are the correct choice for these two movies because they are probably literally the only two guys that can actually pull off the production of what is involved to create these films. Okay? I absolutely believe that Noah has the ability as a storyteller to do something really interesting with those two movies. But he would not have been able to turn them around on the timetable that Disney and Marvel desires. That's why the Russo brothers got the job. They also had a pretty crazy pitch with RDJ Doctor Doom. Okay? Now, the question then becomes, is Noah still doing something with Doctor Doom? And I'd have to say at this point, probably not. Simply because I think what they're doing with RDJ's Doctor Doom is, you know, I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. I think most of that story will be told in Doomsday, a little bit in the Fantastic Four movie. By the way, I have another fucking mind-blowing video that's going to come out later today. And I don't say this for all the videos. I don't say this to all the girls. This one's hot. This one's fire. This one you gotta watch probably 2 or 3 times. So check that video out later today. Reed Richards and Dr. Doom share a dark secret, and you gotta find out what it is. But I say all of that to say, I don't think Noah, like, I can't really imagine Marvel and Kevin Feige specifically. I can't really imagine them being like, okay, so we're building this RDJ thing. We're going to, set it up a little bit in Fantastic Four. We're going to set it up in Doomsday and then in Secret Wars. Oh, and then we will also do a Disney Plus series with Noah Hawley that's completely focused on Doctor Doom and his origin. Right? I can't really see that happening. I would love for it to happen, but I can't really see that happening. I mean, that would be the most expensive show ever fucking created, bro. Because you'd need Pedro, you'd need Doctor Doom, you'd need RDJ. You see what I mean? Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to tell that story via the movies. That's why they paid Robert Downey Jr. like $100 million. Okay? But Noah Hawley, he's such a W creator for them to have that it doesn't even matter what he does. Let's talk about Young Avengers. Unironically, if Noah Hawley did Young Avengers, I'm there day one, and my nipples are hard. Okay? Now, you have probably heard me for over a year say that Young Avengers is stupid. They should not do Young Avengers. All of the Young Avengers that are currently being set up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe might as well be played by Rachel Zegler. They are terrible. They are fucking terrible. However, you take that same cast, you take those same characters, and you tell me that I'm getting a Young Avengers project written and directed by Noah Hawley. I'm there day one with hard nips. This dude can do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. In fact, I would watch Rachel Zegler in a project that Noah Hawley wrote and directed, because I have the utmost confidence that he would give us a visual feast that's also a mind fuck while building incredible story moments. He's on another fucking level, guys. I cannot sing the praises of Noah Hawley enough. He is a genius. A pure genius. This is, and you will not hear a lot of other people talk about this. You certainly won't hear a lot of people gush the way that I'm gushing about this right now. Noah Hawley coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe is legitimately a bigger deal than getting Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom. He will absolutely give Marvel the exact thing that they currently need. Vision. Not white Vision, not stupid ass Vision that, doing the fucking old turtleneck pose with the chain. Vision. True artistic vision, using the medium, all of its tools, everything at his disposal to do brilliant genre storytelling. This is the exact prescription to a creatively sick studio. So this fucking guy, man, this fucking guy coming to Marvel Studios, getting a project is an incredible W. An unbelievable W. Incredible. So I am super excited that Noah Hawley is doing this. I'm also excited to now watch Alien Earth. I was already excited to watch Alien Earth. Now I'm even more excited because I gotta say, I want to see like where's Chops at? How's he doing? This is technically under Disney too, even though it's Fox, right? Because again, we talked about the $87 billion acquisition earlier. Noah's working within the Disney family. He's doing some crazy stuff. Holy shit. This is a huge W. So, I will be watching the updates and the news on this very closely. This is massive news, a huge W for the studio and for us as fans. And for us as fans. So, I'm ecstatic. And we can gush about this. We can now watch Legion, at least watch some of the episodes of Legion and break it down just to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We have Alien Earth coming up. W is all around, man. W is all around. So. Any comments, questions, concerns about my main man, Noah Hawley, coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? What do you think, chat? What are your thoughts? What are you even thinking about this thing? Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Who is he? What is he doing on the MCU? Hello? Did you not hear? Did you just walk back into the room? Did your boss come in and make you turn it off for a little bit? Like, what is happening? Oh, you just joined. You're lucky, VM. You're lucky, brother. What has he done? He's done Legion, Fargo, Alien Earth. He's an absolute stud, man. He's an absolute stud. Anybody else other than VM? If YA happens, then Noah is needed. Yeah, dude. 100%. Like, again, I don't even think... And also, I have a video coming out probably tomorrow on some new updates about the plan for the Young Avengers, why I actually think the new plan is way better than the old plan. Some leaks and some rumors out there, Alex Perez, etc. But, dude, this guy... Holy shit. Like, this dude, he could take all of the cringe characters. And, again, I will be seated there day one. And I actually think it would be a great way to inject some character development and endear some audience members to some of these characters is to have it go through the creative lensing of, like, this man's brain. Like, that is a portal to infinite possibilities. Love it. Love it. He did Fargo, the old movie. No, he did the Fargo show. It was the, what are the brothers? Why am I blanking on these guys' names? It was those famous brothers, the Coen brothers. They did the old movie. I'll be happy to see him revamp She-Hulk, hopefully. I like her in the comics a lot. Honestly, if he does She-Hulk, I'll be there day one. Like, I'm not even kidding. He could literally revitalize She-Hulk. And in fact, you could make a movie or a show with She-Hulk and Brie Larson, Captain Marvel. And I'd just still gas that thing up, man. I would still gas that thing up. 100%. Oh, yeah, it was the Mario Brothers that directed that. Sink Lord says with a $9.99 to chime in on last stream. Wait, what? Many MCU ladies are bad AF, especially ScarJo, but there's something about Lizzie's personality, presence that sets her apart, and that body. Holy Christ. You can't blame Don Cheadle for staring. What the fuck? I mean, that's so out of left field. I appreciate the 10 spot. Thank you. And I 100% agree. But, like, I don't know, bro. Like, do we need to open that can of worms back up? You gassed up the Marvels, to be fair? Really? Did I gas up the Marvels? Because I'm pretty sure that I reported, dude, you're going to get me in trouble. You're going to get me in trouble. Let's just say this. Not only did I not gas up the Marvels, but I bravely talked about some things that Jeff Snyder reported when all of you and a lot of the internet were like, fuck Jeff Snyder. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That shit ain't real. And I was like, I actually think it's real, guys. And I think here's the evidence. So, no, man, you must have me confused with another. Didn't he walk out of the Marvels for 20 minutes? I mean, it was like 15, 20 minutes. I don't know. It was around then. Yeah. Yeah. Den of blushing. Does it look like I'm blushing? Am I blushing? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I am. Now you caught me blushing. Now I'm blushing for real. Maybe I'm not blushing. Maybe I'm flushing. You didn't think about that. You didn't consider that, did you? Maybe instead of flushing, I'm God damn it. Honcho Jack says, "Hey Josh, I really don't like the idea of Battleworld looking like a normal universe. I hope it looks distinct and unique, similar to the comics." Okay, let me address this for a little bit here. I understand that concern. I'll be real with you. I'm not that pumped either. I don't like the idea of it just being another universe, okay? But I'm personally kind of holding out hope that it's not just another universe and that perhaps there is an actual battle world in addition to a new universe. Does that make sense? Like, maybe it's true that 616 is just existing the way that Doom, recreates it, and it's just like, okay, here's the new 616. But maybe there's also like Sakaar, which is run by the Maestro Hulk. Maybe there is Asgard, which is run by, I don't know, Surtur or some shit, or Hela. Maybe there is an actual battle world, which is what the Void was, or something like that. So, like, it's possible we get both. I'm also starting to think that there could be potentially, after Spider-Man 4, maybe that universe is destroyed, and then there's real battle world. I'm not 100% sure. I'm speculating, right? But I agree. I agree with your assessment. I'm a little bit bummed myself, but I'm also holding out hope that we still get some cool shit. Connor Fredender with $1. Thanks for that $1. Is that freaking Pedro Pascal's face with the mustache on it? God damn it. Kind of like a gladiator world. Yeah. I kind of think like Sakaar might be a gladiatorial thing where they make variants fight and maybe they broadcast it to the entire universe, kind of like Mojo World. Yeah. Any update on X-Men 97 Season 2? Will Gambit stay dead? Nah, there's no official updates out there, yeah. Holy shit, VM. A little frisky over there, huh? They're talking about how hot Lizzie is. Should always get open. Oh, that can should always get open? Okay. Heard. Understood. Yeah, understood. The Maestro Hulk. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, let me see if I missed any other soupy chats. But that's all the news, guys. All right, let me see here. Missed the last 2 streams. Caleb says, got married on Friday. EMT clinic yesterday. Oh, yeah, we already did touch on that. Cool, man. Rossi says, this is a fucking family show. Larold says, only 4 more months until that final badge. I'm happy to be a part of the best community on the internet. Don't forget to test your radon levels. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'll get on that, man. Thank you. Henny Babu says, I miss the arts of subtlety, sarcasm, and subtext. There's a way to address issues without losing 50% of the audience. Red versus blue, money always green. Fair point, brother. I think that is absolutely true. Leon says, 4 more months till I hit 2 years. My God, brother, thank you so much for that support. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's watch How to Train Your Dragon trailer. Tagging you now. What's the studio that's making that? Is it Paramount? What's the studio that's making that? Because I don't think we can watch that on stream. They'll grab it up. All right, let's keep going here. Logan says, rank these trilogies. Tom Holland, Spidey, Deadpool, Guardians, Captain America. I'd say Tom Holland, Spider-Man number 1, Captain America number 2, Guardians number 3, Deadpool last. Mostly because Deadpool and Wolverine is not Deadpool 3. Like, they talked about this before. They said it on the, like, I think Sean Levy talked about this, and they're going to do Deadpool and Wolverine 2. They're not making Deadpool 4. Right? So that's not really a trilogy. You know what I mean? Rossi says, what company is currently run better now, Lucasfilm or Sony Studios Marvel? Sony, absolutely. Overbound says, I took my Zegler this morning already. What? Javier, thank you for the 5 spot. Again, Kalisto, appreciate the 20. Philip Hatch says, would you be okay with her in a Star Wars project? Nope. Rachel Zegler will be S-tier Green Goblin in the MCU. Jesus. Jordan says, random, but anyone else think about how pointless Werewolf by Night was? I don't know that I would say it's pointless. I think that some of those characters, some of that story might be developed further in some Midnight Suns stuff. Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily pointless, but I don't have a strong urge to watch it again. I don't know about you guys. Rossi says, Ahsoka, hashtag Filoniverse. Yeah, man, appreciate you. Mav says, Noah Hawley looks like a young guy that is made to look old with mediocre makeup from a 90s movie or The Acolyte. What? All right, man. Appreciate you, Mav. The Sink Lord said, oh, yeah, we already went over that. Honcho Jack says, hey, Josh, I really don't like the... All right, we went over that. Okay, cool. We are caught up on the chats, ladies and gentle bings. We're caught up on the chats. DreamWorks, which is owned by Universal, so I'd advise against watching it. Yeah. You know what's kind of interesting about the How to Train Your Dragon thing? Because we'll kind of putz around for like 20 minutes, guys, and then we'll call it today. I'm actually excited for that. But I see a lot of people online looking past it, frustrated that it seems like a one-to-one remake of the animated movie. Like, what do you guys think about that? Make us a 4-year badge? Should I really? Daredevil Deep Dive Wednesday? Well, that Empire article does not really have any new information. I mean, look, I can go over this with you. Here, I can go over this with you. Check this out. Charlie Cox says Daredevil Born Again being a continuation of the original series. There was talk early on about reinventing the whole thing to see if Matt was slightly different person, but it ended up being more of a continuation. A lot of history follows on. The relationships and dynamics set up in the previous seasons still exist. So this is just confirming what we already knew from insiders and scoopers. And even Vincent D'Onofrio, I remember he made a comment. He was at a Comic-Con. This was before the creative overhaul. And he was talking about how he thinks the show is going to be great, but it's going to be very different than the Netflix show. So, you know, we talk about this a lot, but this was the Phase 4 mentality. And I think Marvel in general kind of has this problem, or at least had this problem. This is a problem that really permeates What If, right? Like, What If is so focused on retooling and mixing things that happen in the MCU that it misses the entire scope of what is possible just strictly from Marvel characters and even in Marvel Comics, right? It's so focused on MCU that it misses, like, the forest for the trees. It's the same thing with Daredevil. The original version of that show was going to be completely different. It was going to probably be a little bit more like what Daredevil was like in She-Hulk. Yikes. Even though I actually think he was kind of decent in She-Hulk. But still, like, they were going to do that. Now they have returned to form. Okay? But we already knew that. You know what I mean? So this Empire magazine, that is literally the only bit out of there that I thought was maybe worth talking about. Here's something interesting. We could touch on this. James Gunn talks about canon in the DCU. Check this out.
I mean, does canon matter anymore anyway?
Well, you know, one of the weird things to me is that none of this is real. It may be alarming to people, but none of it is real. It's all just stories that we're telling about characters, and hopefully there's authenticity and truth to those stories because we care about those stories. The characters, the actors, the performers, the animators, they all care about these stories. but it's not real.
Right.
So what's canon can really be whatever you want to be canon. If you want to pretend that, Greedo and Batman go on, adventures together, you can pretend Greedo and Batman go on adventures together. That can be your canon. I know that is your
You just stole my fan fiction. I mean, does canon matter anymore anyway?
Well, one of the weird things to me is that none of this is real. It may be alarming to people, but none of it is real. It's all just stories that we're telling about characters, and hopefully there's authenticity and truth to those stories because we care about those stories. The characters, the actors, the performers, the animators, they all care about these stories. But it's not real.
Right.
So what's canon can really be whatever you want to be canon. If you want to pretend that, Greedo and Batman go on, adventures together,
So what do you guys think of that before I chime in? What do you think about that answer? Because there's some merit to it. I mean, I think technically this is a similar view that Dave Filoni has of canon, actually. Yeah. So what do you think before I give my take? Nothing is real, so who cares? Yeah, right? What kind of answer is that? I mean, it's a James Gunn answer, brother, It's a James Gunn answer. Oh, he cooking. Oh, shit. What a tool. He isn't wrong about canon, is what you make it. But that's about it. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. Bish, it's real. So here's the thing. I think in isolation, if he were to just make these comments, it's not a big deal. It's not necessarily a story, okay? Watch the full interview. Well, how long is the full interview? Because I can only handle so much of this dude at once. So, if this were in isolation, if it was just those comments, if that's the only thing he was talking about, that's fine. Okay? But when he filmed that video in the closet, it was like 2 years ago now, when he came out and talked about how the DC universe was fractured, one of the very first things he said was that he wanted it to have cohesion. Right? And he wanted it to be consistent. He wanted it to be played by the same actors in the shows and the movies and in TV. Okay? His words. On top of that, before Gunn was officially hired, what David Zaslav talked about was wanting to have what Marvel had. Okay? So the reason that episode 7 of Agatha does better than the finale of The Penguin, and by the way, both of the shows did not do great, but facts is facts. Like, Agatha had, like, literally twice the amount of viewers. The reason that happened is not because of Agatha's popularity. It is because of canon. It is because of her connection to other characters in a shared universe. The reason that the first Captain Marvel movie made over $1 billion is not because of the merits of Captain Marvel. It is because it exists in a shared universe with a shared canon, and it was placed between two massive Avengers movies, and everybody was looking to Captain Marvel as a film to try to figure out what possible connections, what possible setup was there for Endgame. Okay? So I don't necessarily have a problem with that belief in isolation, but it flies in the face of other things that he has said and the mandate he put out and the mandate that his boss put out. Right? So my issue with this statement is it feels just like talking out of both sides of his mouth, because like a lot of people over the past couple of days have been calling James out for his ridiculous concept of canon when it comes to Peacemaker. right? And he's been like really back and forth on this, right? Like there were comments he said where, okay, season 2 is going to be canon, but season 1 is not. Then he said, oh, well, actually all of season 1 is canon except for the Justice League scenes and stuff like that, right? So I don't actually have a problem with that philosophy. I more have a problem with, like, he's just lying again. Like, he's literally just lying again, saying whatever makes sense in the moment without a cohesive, like, he doesn't have an actual, like, worldview. He doesn't actually have like a show Bible or a DCU Bible or that, you know, thing. I think he's also over the past year and a half probably understood how much more difficult it is to actually have it as cohesive and confined as he wanted it to be. And so now canon doesn't matter. Like, do you see what I mean? So yeah, I think it's kind of whack, but you guys know where I stand on this guy, you know? I'll also tell you, this feels very similar to the EU thing and the Lucasfilm problem. So one of the problems that Kathy and Lucasfilm had when they were conceiving the Disney canon, they come in and essentially say that the expanded universe is over. And they said that, like, the expanded universe is not canon. And at the time, what the pitch was, right? The pitch was everything you read, every comic, every novel, every show, and then every movie, when it came to Star Wars, it's all canon and it's all now connective and relative to itself. So what I'm saying is, like, they kind of came out and said the EU no longer exists, but to replace that, now every single thing you check out that's Star Wars will enrich the experience you have as a fan of experiencing the next thing. And that just didn't happen, right? So a lot of, I mean, there's all sorts of examples. Even the novelizations of the sequel trilogies themselves, they aren't coherent to the movies. Prequel books like Catalyst aren't cohesive to what was even happening in those movies. So they fucked it up, you know? And I think that for a lot of fans that were, like, on the level of, like, what, you know, Christian Harloff, who at the time between Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and then into Rise of Skywalker, I mean, there were people like Christian, there were people like Campio, there were people like, you know, at the time, John Schnepp, and people like myself, maybe people like a lot of you guys, that were reading everything. We were reading everything, and we considered it to be cool, but also it was informing and adding value to our experience of watching the movies and stuff like that. So once it became obvious that that promise that they had made was not actually being fulfilled, I mean, I haven't bought anything since. Like, I just don't care. So I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of interesting. I gotta be honest, guys, I really do not want to watch this full interview. 18 minutes? Yeah, Filoni ignores things in books and comics that he disagrees with too. Yeah, 100%. I mean, so Dave's philosophy on this, which, like, I can understand this philosophy. His philosophy is it's all, like, stories that are being told to us, the audience. So different stories can interpret things differently, right? So I see that point, but that just means, like, you can't then make the promise of connective tissue. You can't then make the promise that, like, your investment in this thing will help explain this thing. I'm that's fine, but don't, like, come out saying the one thing and then do the other, right? Yeah, 18 minutes of Gunn is way too much, guys. Can't do it. Can't do it. Move along. Move along to what? We're done. We're done, chat. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for getting the news and helping to give some feedback, comments, concerns. Appreciate y'all. Much love. We'll be back at it tomorrow, probably at noon, guys. And then again, I have that cool video. I'm probably going to drop that video within a half hour of ending this stream. So make sure you go check that out. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh, another happy landing. You guys don't understand. However excited you think I am for Noah Hawley coming in to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's more. Massive W. Appreciate you. Thank you for the attention. Thank you for the member chats, the super chats. Thank you for all of that, baby. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Video later today. Stream. We're back at it tomorrow. Remember, open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butt hole.